Hello, I'm Drive, Olivia Harris, a board-certified family medicine physician.
Are people telling you that living alone is bad for you? That you should be with family? That something is wrong with being on your own? Today I want to give you the science on the other side of that conversation. Because the research on solo living after 60 is considerably more nuanced. And considerably more encouraging than most people realize. As a board-certified family medicine physician, I am going to walk you through why living alone can actually support your health, and exactly how to make it work optimally. Let me start with the numbers. According to the United States Census Bureau, approximately 28% of adults over 65 in America live alone. That is roughly 14 million people. The number has been rising steadily for decades. Some are widowed, some are divorced, some choose it deliberately, and while society tends to frame solo living in later life as something to be pitied or worried about, the research tells a more complex story. A 2016 study published in the American Journal of Psychology found that older adults living alone reported higher levels of autonomy and life satisfaction compared to those living with adult children or other family members. A 2019 study in the Journal of Gerontology confirmed that older adults living independently were significantly more proactive about managing their own health. The explanation is counterintuitive but logical. When no one else is managing your health for you, you manage it yourself. That sense of personal responsibility and agency turns out to be a powerful driver of health-promoting behavior. Reason number 1 why living alone can benefit your health. Chronic stress decreases. Cohabitation is not inherently healthy. Multi-generational living creates friction, disagreements about household routines, conflicts over noise levels, meal timing, television habits, tensions with in-laws or adult children. These frictions generate chronic low-grade stress, and chronic stress is one of the most well-documented drivers of poor health outcomes in older adults. It suppresses immune function, it elevates blood pressure, it increases cardiovascular disease risk, it disrupts sleep. A 2020 study in the journal Stress found that older adults living alone without cohabitation conflict had significantly lower cortisol levels than those living with others. In conflicted households, living alone removes an entire category of chronic stressor from your daily life. For many people, this reduction in ambient stress produces measurable health benefits. Reason number 2, you can build a lifestyle optimized entirely for your own health. When you live with others, you make constant compromises. You cook what others want to eat rather than what your body needs. You adjust your sleep schedule to someone else's habits. You exercise when it fits someone else's schedule, rather than your own optimal time. You watch television when others want to, rather than going to bed at your ideal hour. Living alone removes all of these compromises. You can eat exactly what your physician recommends. You can exercise at the time of day that works best for your body. You can maintain the sleep schedule that gives you the best rest. A 2018 study in the Journal of Sleep Medicine found that older adults sleeping alone had statistically higher sleep efficiency than those sharing a bed with a partner. Uninterrupted sleep is one of the most underrated factors in healthy aging. Living alone makes it dramatically easier to achieve. Reason number 3, you choose the quality and nature of your social connections. This is the most important point and the one most commonly misunderstood. People assume that living alone means being lonely. But loneliness and living alone are not the same thing. Loneliness is the experience of wanting more or better social connection than you currently have. You can live alone and feel deeply connected. You can live with a house full of people and feel profoundly isolated. Older adults living alone have complete freedom to structure their social lives around relationships that genuinely nourish them, not relationships maintained out of obligation, not family dynamics that produce conflict and resentment, relationships chosen freely and maintained because they are mutually meaningful. A 2017 study in Social Science and Medicine found that relationship quality was a stronger predictor of health outcomes than relationship quantity. Who you spend time with matters more than how many people you live with. Reason number 4, your brain stays more active. Living independently requires continuous cognitive engagement. Managing your finances, planning and preparing meals, organizing your schedule, navigating transportation, handling household maintenance. These daily activities provide ongoing stimulation to multiple brain systems simultaneously. A 2019 study in neurology found that older adults maintaining independent living showed significantly slower rates of cognitive decline compared to those in more dependent living arrangements. The brain adapts to its demands. A life that requires nothing of your mind accelerates cognitive aging. A life that requires you to solve problems, make decisions and manage complexity keeps your brain engaged and functioning. Independent living provides that cognitive demand naturally and continuously. Reason number 5. Your sense of self-efficacy and self-worth is preserved when all the practical tasks of daily life are handled by others. Older adults often experience a gradual erosion of self-confidence. The message received, even when unintended, is that you cannot manage on your own. When you live independently and handle your own life successfully, the opposite message is reinforced daily. I am capable, I am managing, I am still fully myself. This daily experience of competence has profound effects on mental health. A 2021 study in the Journal of Geriatric Mental Health found that independently living, older adults had significantly lower rates of depression compared to those in dependent living arrangements. The dignity of managing your own life is not a small thing. It is one of the most important contributors to psychological health in later life. Now let me give you the 5 practices that make solo living genuinely healthy rather than simply tolerable. First practice. Build social connection proactively and consistently. Living alone does not mean living without people. It means choosing your people deliberately. Maintain regular contact with friends and family. Join community groups, faith communities, hobby clubs or volunteer organizations. Aim for meaningful in-person social contact at least 2 to 3 times per week. Phone and video calls supplement, but do not fully replace face-to-face interaction for health purposes. Research consistently shows that social isolation is one of the most serious health risks for older adults. But social isolation is not the same as living alone. You can live alone and be socially well connected. That combination is entirely achievable with intentional effort. Second practice. Create and protect a daily routine. Structure is one of the most health protective elements of solo living. Set consistent times for waking, eating, exercising and sleeping. This regularity supports circadian rhythm, metabolic function, sleep quality and cognitive performance simultaneously. Without the natural structure that cohabitation provides, intentional routine becomes essential. Third practice. Make your home as safe as possible. Fall prevention is the single most important safety priority for adults living alone after 60. Install grab bars in the bathroom and shower. Use non-slip mats in wet areas. Ensure adequate lighting in hallways and stairways at night. Remove loose rugs and tripping hazards. Consider a medical alert system that allows you to call for help if you fall. Establish a check-in routine with a friend or family member so that someone notices promptly if something is wrong. Fourth practice. Keep all your preventive healthcare appointments. Adults living alone are at higher risk of delaying medical care because there is no one nearby to notice warning signs or encourage action. Schedule your annual physical, your annual dental exam, your eye exam, your recommended cancer screenings. Do not skip these because they feel inconvenient. Preventive care is dramatically more effective and less costly than treating conditions that were allowed to progress. Fifth practice. Maintain a sense of daily purpose. Research published in JAMA Network Open in 2018 found that older adults with a strong sense of purpose had significantly lower mortality rates than those reporting low purpose. Every day should include something you look forward to, something that matters to you, and something that connects you to a larger reason for being here. A garden, a grandchild, a cause, a creative project, a community, a faith. Purpose is not a luxury in later life. It is a survival variable. I want to close with this. Living alone after 60 is not a fate to be avoided or a problem to be solved. For many people it is a genuinely healthy and genuinely fulfilling way to live. The research supports this. The conditions that make it work are achievable. Social connection, daily structure, physical safety, preventive health care and a sense of purpose. With these in place, living alone is not just manageable. It can be one of the richest chapters of your life. You chose this, or life brought you here. Either way, you are doing something genuinely difficult and genuinely worthwhile. That deserves recognition, not pity.